Welcome back to Stationeers, and it's time to sort out some kind of, well, let's say filtering system or sorting system. If you're playing multiplayer, or even if not, you are going to have people off mining. They're going to come back to your base, and, well, if we pop down here, I've taken one of the airlock sides off at the moment, but they're not going to want to pass through your airlock every time just to dump some ore. So we need some way of getting the ore down there. Sort of a dumb waiter kind of system. Well, we can actually do that. I've laid out some cable, just sort of have to cable on camera. Yeah, where should we start? To start, you need to construct some, and you see I've been out mining, you need to construct some chutes. They're made in the hydraulic pipe bender, I believe. Let's just, yeah, there we go. Construction chutes. Just needs iron, nothing else. So if we grab those, we can then build a sort of system for transferring items around, just like we've built pipes for transferring gases around. And do you like these? Yeah. I was sick of those old kind of grey iron walls. If you make construction kit walls, on the other hand, you can make composite walls and composite windows. Composite walls need steel, but composite windows don't. They just need one more iron plate and then one glass sheet. And you end up with this kind of thing. Looks very 70s or 60s, I guess you might say. 70s, 60s space age, which is, I guess, fitting of the theme. And yeah, it's fine. So once I get more steel, and I will be making more batches once we have a good sorting system out, and once I get more iron and coal, I'll be able to clad the rest of the building in the composite walls. But of course, you do need steel to complete them. You don't need to make the kit, but just to actually complete the cladding. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Cool. Yes, so we need to make those chutes. Did I keep them in my inventory? Yes, I did. And let's just start it here, shall we? So if I rotate this so that it's pointing up and put it there. I've already ran some of these chutes underneath, well, through the ground here, through these iron frames. But we can't just grab something like this and drop it in the end of the chute. Nope, doesn't work. I mean, nice if it did, but there is an alternative solution for that. So when you build these, you can scroll wheel through quite a few options. You see the one of 7, so there's a one with a window, there's an inlet and an outlet, and those are for connecting to machines, I believe. We'll see that shortly. There's a chute bin, a junction, so there's obviously 3 inputs, well, 2 inputs, 1 output, corner, and we're back to straight again. So let's just go back to the bin, and I need to rotate this around a little bit. There we go. So if we pop that there, you'll see we've got power to this side. We're going to need power for it. And then there's sort of this handle on the side, which looks a lot like the handles on the machines, and then a power switch. So if we turn the power switch on, let's go and, say we've just come back from mining, and I'm going to put that in here, and it's gone. Hopefully it isn't getting jammed somewhere, but you can just dump stuff in here, and it's all gone from this system. No need to go down into your base. So over here, I'm going to pop down and head down. Oh, by the way, airlock. I took one airlock door out because I was getting problems. A couple of problems. First one is that every time you disconnect and reconnect power to like something even past this, things flicker for a second, and I think it's recalculating the electricity network. When that happens, however, even if it isn't off the end or it isn't in between this and the APC, it's not a series connection, it's a parallel. There's junctions in this cable. It's causing this to recalculate, and when that happens, what seems to happen is this loses its memory of what the exterior and interior doors are. And when that happens, you get in the airlock and it says cycle to exterior when this door is open. Cycle to interior when this door is open. So it thinks that door is the interior door. So then it gets stuck. You put the data disk in, and it gets even more stuck in that you can't deselect the door. It comes up grey. You got to deconstruct the door, reconstruct the door, and I thought until we pressurize, I'm not going to bother with it. I think I can solve it by putting in APC up here, which should mean, well, hopefully mean that this inside of the airlock isn't going to recalculate. So that's something I'm going to do, and I will obviously let you know if that solves it. If anyone knows any other ways to solve it, be my guest, let me know. The other problem with the airlock was, remember when I had it here? I did an air test a couple of times. I had this airlock, this external airlock, rotated either way, and either way, air was going out. Just straight through the door, as if it wasn't even there. Well, as if it wasn't even there. It would just keep on going down. So, I moved that door out to here, and you can see there's now a cable out here, and it works fine. It keeps pressure. So, if you're having problems with an airlock leak, make sure you've got more than one block on the inside of your airlock, whatever your airlock is, and hopefully everything will be good from there. So on the inside now, you'll see we've got some nice lights. So we've got some lights in the room. It's still not bright enough, but that's mainly because of these walls are quite dark. Once we clad these, just like the ones outside, this will be quite a light room, and there won't be any much of a problem there. So in here, I've got this output, and this isn't one of the output blocks, it's just a chute. But if you don't have anything connected to the end of a chute, unlike a pipe, it isn't closed. It does actually let the stuff out. And here's our iron that I actually put in the top of the system. I'm just going to grab it back because I'm going to use it a little bit later. So yeah, even if you don't have any sorting system connected, you can just use that kind of system to drop it down into here, and use the construction kit walls. You can make this railing by scroll wheeling a few times, and yeah, all's good. You know, you could have a little dump area here for your entire base. Okay, now to get further on with this, we need a block called a sorter. A sorter I don't think is available for machines upstairs. I mean, I could be wrong, it could be, but I definitely know of one machine where it is available. So let's go and build that. And I have mentioned it before, it's called a Fabricator. But you're going to need a few different items. We're going to need a Fabricator itself. I've just built one ahead of time. Whoops. And we're going to need one computer. Yeah, let's just put you in my backpack as well and put you back. Do I need anything else? Tool belt instead of a mining belt might actually be a good idea, just in case I'm making mistakes. Nothing else. I think... Oh, there's the power controller. Do I test this out? I guess I could. I'm running out of space. Let's test that. Let's test connecting that to fix the airlock once I've got everything else going. And the sun's going down. So let's pop down. So to build a Fabricator, you're going to need a computer and a Fabricator. That's the Fabricator. This is the computer. So, you'll see I've run cables here. So if we pop the computer down, there we go. We have power? We have power. Good. We're going to need a motherboard, but this time not the logic motherboard that we used previously for the solar panels. You're going to need one of these, the manufacturing motherboards. Pop it in, close it up, and we're ready for the next part, which is the Fabricator, which is a huge machine. So, yeah, as you can see, it is, you know, pretty bulky, and I'm going to put it next to the computer like that. Again, you'll see I've run cables there and there, and they run across the floor, underneath the stairs, and then up past the airlock. You can see that's the other junction of it. One thing I did notice, by the way, that underneath the stairs has a data port, a power port right there. Not sure why. I think it may be for the future. There certainly isn't a power port at the top. What I would have thought is that's a convenient way to get power from like upstairs to downstairs, but there's no power port up there. It's not like a pass-through system to do that. So maybe this model is incomplete or it's not implemented yet. There's no lights on it, so you can't be powering it by anything else. But I've run a cable anyway, just in case. I suppose those could rotate and turn this into kind of some crazy comedy ramp, but yeah, don't know. If any of you guys know of any use for that power port, feel free to let me know in the comments. So, yes, Fabricator, let's flip you on, and let's turn the computer on, and you see we get an interface. Fabricator's so useful for a few different reasons. One is that you can make a lot of the more advanced items, which we'll see in a second. But second, if I press the plus button here, the run will actually start manufacturing. If I press the plus button, I can add orders to it. Each one of these, I can actually choose a defined amount that I want to be manufactured. So no more going upstairs, pressing the on button, and then hoping you don't forget about it manufacturing stuff and coming back to find you built 4 computers or, you know, 500 cable coils or similar. So what we just do here is we just choose what we want to build. Now in our case, at the moment the search button doesn't appear to be working. It'd be nice if it did, or that kind of thing, but if we, yeah, I can't even type to search in here, so we've got to look for the stuff. You'll see the stuff we can't make upstairs, definitely. Things like a battery cell nuclear. In fact, what does it take to build that? It takes electrum, invar, constant, and solder. Don't have any of those things yet. Guess we're not going to be making a nuclear battery. Anyway, so further down in here, there's lots of things that we do maybe want in the future. Chemistry station may be useful for multiplayer, so if you want to make more heal pills, and that's what this thing is. You can make that through the chemistry station, apparently, but I'm playing single player, so a heal pill doesn't really help when I'm about to die myself. I can't really jam a pill. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, what do we want? We want a sorter. And I think it's on the kit sorter. And this is also, by the way, we can make suit storage and all kinds of other things that we'll get to. So have a look through one of these computers once you've got a fabricator hooked up. It is well worth looking through the recipes. Let's have a look. Sorter. Kit sorter. So it will make one with 10. Still, is this actually the grams? Because that just doesn't seem right. Because this will be so tiny. It's got to be kilograms. I don't see any other way around that. So iron, gold, and copper. And to do that, wow, why can't I pick you up? Are you jammed underneath the floor? Let's just rip this floor up. Pick up the gratings. Yeah. Brought some materials down. So yeah, we got the input here. Later, we're probably going to want to insert pretty much most of our materials in here anyway. So once we get through a furnace setup of some kind, we can have an input here or some kind of windowed chute. That was the other kind of construction type that we have. Let's just show you that. So yeah, you can see what's in there, and that may help. We need some kind of either a loop system where stuff continually keeps going around and trying to insert into places, or some kind of storage system like that over there where, you know, things just accrue and we can just grab whatever we want. So, as you can see, we've got enough iron, but we need gold and copper. I'm just wondering if I'm out of gold and copper. Let's go and take a quick look. We're not out of gold, but copper I tend to use quite a bit of, just making lots of cable coils more than anything else. What's in you? Copper, gold. Let's just put you away. I don't think we've got enough copper. I think we're out. Or at least out for the amount that it wants. It's probably wanted 10 or something like that. 5 and I've got 4. Yeah, that's about right. So, yeah, I have made a sorter a little bit earlier, just in case I run out. Which is a good thing, because I don't want to go and get 1 gram of copper. Although, actually, I think it's some of my mining belt. Let's go and grab you. And I need some more stairs up there. I need some stairs up to this level rather than running around or jetpacking. Let's just swap you out. And I have 4. Okay, so just pop you in here and let's make you. Okay. And silver and steel? No, not going to need those today. You can pass through and we should get that back. Oh, there it is. Copper. Because we are going to need a few of these sorters anyway, so I may as well show this. There we go. So the progress bar starts. We're only making 1 in this case. And you can see it being constructed inside, and then hopefully it'll pop at this side. Yeah, so now we have a sorter. I'm going to put this back like that. Okay, so now stuff should pop out on top of this rather than being stuck underneath it. So we've got a sorter. What can we do with a sorter? We can do a few things. Mainly, we can whitelist things using the sorter. So if I head upstairs, and let's take this furnace for example. Yeah, let's take this furnace. I was going to make the furnace downstairs, but I think that's going to be next episode. What I'm going to need to do is put a regular furnace, not an arc furnace, down here. But in order to finish that off, we're really going to need a way to deal with exhaust gases. So I don't want to put a sorting system into that just yet. I'll have just this little bay for now. Once we have the furnace set up next episode, I'll connect everything in. But I do want to demonstrate the sorters, because if you're ahead of me, or if you want to get sorters going into arc furnaces, you can do that just fine. So if we have this sorter here, you'll see it's a bit of a complicated block. There's an input, and there are actually 2 outputs you can see in front of me. One is just, it just says output, and the other one is a plus symbol. So what we're going to do is rotate so the output is not going into the machine. So you see on the right hand side there, that's the output. We don't want that going into this arc furnace. We want the plus going to the arc furnace. So let's spin you around and put you there. So as you can see, that one is going into the arc furnace. And we can turn it on. And nothing happens. that's pretty much correct. So if we now just grab, let's just say, I just want to split one of you off and put you back. We can flip over to this, pop an iron ore in, and it's going to pop out of this side, which is exactly what we want to happen. Well, it's what we want to happen by default. So we can now, what I'm probably going to have to do is for arc furnaces, if I'm going to use it for arc furnaces, this is not going to be here. It's going to be maybe one further towards me and one back. So this standard port on this side is going to have a conveyor, a chute going from this to this, just so that this can get past the arc furnace. It's not much of a problem on the normal furnace, because the normal furnace input is on the top, but on an arc furnace you've got to have a little bit of a little bit of leeway. In our case, we can just go around it. So if I just do this, I can change it to a corner, hopefully junction corner. Yeah, so if I rotate that around, we can go up and that way. Okay, so we can come back on ourselves just for, argument's sake. And it's stuck because there's no output. Let's just build an output then. Although I'd expect that to actually output. Inlet, outlet. Are you going to need power? You probably are. Yeah, let's actually ignore you for now. Let me just... That is odd how that doesn't work there, but it does work with that. Okay, never mind. Let's just actually deconstruct you for a second. See where you are. And you went into that side. So I think what's happening is we can't just put a chute behind here. We need some kind of inlet on this side of the sorter. I would expect that to be built into the sorter, but maybe not. I will test that anyway once I come to the final system. Let's just show the sorting side of things rather than the inserting. So well, we're going to need to configure this. There is a data disk port, but there's no display here, so we're going to need another computer, which is fine by me. Am I running low on... yeah, I am. Let's just actually get a recharge. I'll flip you. Change.
Power critical.
Whoops. Okay, so we grab a computer, and we're going to set you up to configure this sorter. Let's pop you there. Let's open this port. Let's just double check that that was the reason it passed through. Yep, it's still coming through on this side, which is exactly what we want. All right, and then we're going to need different kind of motherboard again. We're going to need a sorter motherboard, which I made a little while ago. A bug I have found, by the way, and this happened to me last night when I was doing some testing, is when we plug this in, let's just turn you on. Let's see what we've got. Whitelist. Yeah, so when I did this last night, pushing plus, this was empty, this whitelist. Nothing in there whatsoever. Nothing could be selected. Give me my iron back. And as nothing could be selected, I was having a fair amount of issues just trying to configure this thing. Reloaded the save, works fine. So just in case, reload your save if you get that kind of problem. So in here we can select what we want this sorter to whitelist, and if I just grab you, it will very much help to label these things. So if we just choose you, and let's say this is the arc furnace 1 sorter. Yeah. You'll see that's reflected on the screen. So if we have, many of these things, we can configure them, just by seeing them on here. So whitelist, what we could do is say any kind of ore. We can scroll down. None at the moment, but ore will be filtered by this. So if I grab you, will you now filter? Yep, see, it comes into the arc furnace side. So we've got a way to actually filter that out. If you want to be more specific, you can do. You can go into here and then scroll all the way down. Well, there's ingots as well, but scroll all the way down and you can choose the individual ores. So again, we can select ore iron and pop you in. And it'll still come out this side. But of course, as you might expect, if I select batteries or something, then putting this in will not filter it, which is good. So anything apart from what you whitelist will come out this left port. Left port as we're facing this way. Anything that you want to filter will come out the right port, and you can use this to construct fairly complex means of getting stuff around your base. The only thing that it can't do, who kicked that? The only thing I think it can't do is sort of round robin distribution. We're so used to playing things like Minecraft where the mods have round robin and first output first. For example, if this is first in the chain, it'll go here first, then the next one. That doesn't really exist here. So for the moment, we just have to have some kind of system where it tries each machine in turn, and then maybe has a dump at the end, and we deal with it that way. At least for now, or some kind of loop. I'm not in favour of loops, even from things like Factorio, in that what tends to happen is things get jammed, things get stuck in the loop, and you end up having to deconstruct enough of the loop to make you go crazy. So in this case, so yeah, we have a filtering system. I can just put that back, actually. Let's just dump it downstairs. And this as well, because I'm going to be setting up the rest of this very shortly, so that will do. And off you go. We can flip this off. Oh, in fact, that's a good thing. Will it actually work with the computer off? Hopefully it will, because the filter's still powered. Let's just grab that iron ore again. You'll do. Let's just double test this. And then let's see if we can fix this airlock. Finally. Oops. Let's head up. Okay, and will you work? Let's just say ore, because that's the easiest one to get to. Okay, and turn you off. Yeah, you're going to work just fine. Cool. So we don't need the 200 watts of the computer going, and that's someone told me that in one of the comments, so thank you to let me know how much that is, so you can pop that away. Alright, so we're pretty much done with the initial introduction to sorting. I could put arc furnaces downstairs, but because these release into the atmosphere, there's no real way of getting the output. You can sort of get rid of the output by putting them like into a wall almost, so that this doesn't radiate the atmosphere, but I think I want to just do the proper furnace setup. So by all means use the arc furnaces. If you don't have an airlock in there, it's not much of a big deal because it's going to vent out to vacuum But in our case, I don't want to trap any heat or hot gases in that area whatsoever. We're going to need a cooling loop to do that, and that'll be next episode. So in the meantime, let's see if we can fix the airlock. We have an APC, and apparently you can now use them as a pass-through, so I don't need to put a battery in there. But I do want to see whether that will fix our issues. So I'm going to need maybe, should need the iron sheets. I'm probably going to need cable coil though, and that's going to need copper. Oh, it's okay. We've got some here. Let's just rob. No, I may not even need any. That's fine. I've got a few. That should be more than enough. Let's just pop you away. So our airlock door is down here. I think I put it on the ground somewhere. Airlock, there it is. And if I grab a tool like this, you can now see the inner workings of this thing. Oh, I've got some free silicone. That's fine. So you'll see that this is on a separate line. And if we just rip up the floor as well, just so you can see that. Whoops. So you'll see that this only really connects to the doors and this. So what I guess we could do, and what I was maybe thinking of doing, is grabbing cutters and cutting this line. And then let's just put the curve in a little bit earlier. And curve the other way. And then maybe use the APC. That's the airlock. Where's the APC? There you are. So, we want power and data, and which way is around, is it? Yeah, that's the right way. Okay, and then we want to grab this. There it is. And now comes the bit that I always have problems with, which is flipping these switches correctly to auto. There we go. And maybe we can just set them to on, to be honest. There shouldn't be any need for anything else. We always want the airlock on anyway, so let me flip those. So I moved this so I could access it easier rather than being inside the block. There seems to be some issue with the hitboxes at the moment on those. I can't even get any of them now, so they're all set to off. However, we do appear to still have power on the inside, so yeah, so let's just leave them like that. And if I need to have any issues, let's just take the battery out. I don't think that's going to affect things, no, because it's just acting as a pass-through. So hopefully that isn't going to go and turn off my airlock when I need it. But yeah, I don't quite know what's going on with the hitboxes. I can't even get to this one. I opened this one up and all of these are gone. Now I'm on the beta branch, so you know, who knows what's going on there. There may be just a bug with my version of the game. I will flip them to on once I'm able to actually do so. You can see we can turn the main breaker on, and these are still not responding even with the actual power off. So let's turn the power back on, and for the moment let's just close you up. Yeah, everything will be fine. Okay, so we want to put the airlock back. Here we go. And again, as I was saying, we want to make sure for the pressure reasons that it is this way and in that position. So now we've got two. So it thinks this door currently is the exterior door. It's not. So let's undo you. And we want to select the other airlock. Ah, yes. And because I can only see the area power control and everything inside, I now don't have this huge long list. I only have these things. So that's the exterior door. That's the interior door. And it is active. So if we grab the data disk, do that, and we can cycle to the interior. Doors are closed. It's trying to do it, but obviously there's no pressure in there, so it can't pull any pressure into here. All right, so let's do something that previously was just completely, you know, giving us real problems, or giving me real problems, And that is just basically causing a recalculation in here by, I don't know, let's deconstruct that cable. Are you still okay? You are still okay. Good. So please do use an APC to secure your airlock power from everything else. Otherwise, recalculations will have a bit of a problem, at least in the current version of the game. All good. Still okay? Yeah, still okay. Fine. So we now have a much nicer interior. We've got, well, not really a sorting system, but we've got a nice bin that someone upstairs who goes mining, which will be me, unfortunately, can use to dump stuff into a little waiting area. And next episode, we're going to fit the furnaces, and then we're going to be running furnace pipes. And this is one of the reasons why I still haven't pressurized. We'll be running the furnace pipes out to a cooling array. I hope you'll join me for that one. Feel free to give this episode a thumbs up or subscribe if you haven't already for more episodes of Stationeers and other content. I've got to get back to the Factorio and Minecraft playthroughs at some point, but this is a really new game. Lots of good fun in here. So let's just turn this off. Oh, we don't need it. Don't want to be using up power. And yeah, it's pretty good. Thanks for watching.